Good. Somebody's nestling, rustling papers next to the microphone. I don't know who that is. If they maybe mind not doing that, that'd be really good. Good. Let's. Oh, we're in a new order today. It's come up in a different shape. It's come up in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and normally it does something completely different. Good. So let's stick in the order that we're in then. So Denise, I have a candle that a friend gave me. I have a candle that a friend gave me. Okay, now it's gone back to the other order. That's interesting. So I have a candle that a friend gave me. I have a candle that a friend gave me. Denise, you're on microphone block, sorry.
Sorry, the word candle is
bougie.
Bougie. J'ai une bougie que une amie.
At your stage now, guys, we should be linking k and un and k and il and k and l quite naturally. I have a candle that a friend gave me.
J'ai une bougie qu'une amie m'a donnée.
Good. It's a fairly safe assumption that it was a girl giving me a candle. Well, actually, I don't know. The gays love candles. Good. So go again. J'ai une bougie qu'une amie m'a donnée.
J'ai une bougie qu'une amie m'a donnée.
Good. Don't aim. So I'm just going to take some medication. Don't aim to go again. Aim to slide more slowly. Okay. Oui, alors j'ai une bougie qu'une amie m'a donnée. Denise, there is something funny written on it. There is something funny written on it. The friend in question ain't the kind of friend that sends candles. So when she sent me this candle, I was like, what in the name of holistic shit is this? But yeah, so say for me, there is something funny written on it.
Il y a quelque chose de rigolo qui est...
Now, notice, I only had this correction earlier. It's not wrong to say which is written on it. But if we're saying, so the example that we had was with Sarah. And Sarah was saying, isn't Sarah normally in this? Yeah. So the example that she said was so not far from the house. And she went to say so which is not far from the house. And I'm like, look, just like in English, sometimes we'll just say near to, not far from. We don't need qui n'est pas loin de. We could just say pas loin de or près de. So on this occasion, we don't need anything, just go straight to the adjective. So do this one for me. Say for me, there's something written on it. We don't need there's something which is written on it. Just say something written on it.
Il y a quelque chose écrit sur la...
We've done this before. Prepositions when there's not an object after them. What is on it without naming what the thing is?
It's not sur lequel.
No. Your bloody addiction to laquelle, I'm going to put you in rehab. Dessus, on it.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
In it, dedans. Yeah, you know, all this kind of stuff. Okay, good. Il y a quelque chose écrit dessus. Say for me, teeth closed. Il y a quelque chose écrit dessus. Il y a quelque chose écrit dessus.
Il y a quelque chose d'écrit dessus.
No. Now I'm liking the muscle memory of de after quelque chose, but that is when we go to an adjective like something funny. On this occasion, that's not the same kind of adjective. Il y a quelque chose écrit dessus.
Il y a quelque chose écrit dessus.
I asked for it in one go with a blur. I did not get it in one go in a blur.
Il y a quelque chose écrit dessus.
That was nice. So I don't know if you can see this. It says I wish I could take your pain and give it to someone we both really hate. What a lovely sentiment that is. Lovely. Denise, last one from you. It made me laugh. It made me laugh.
Ça m'a fait rire.
Or ça m'a fait rigoler. Good. Tia. I tend to not buy this kind of present, Luke. I tend to not buy this kind of present.
J'ai tendance de ne pas acheter.
J'ai tendance à. When you're learning expressions, remember that a and de are polar opposites in terms of vowel. So don't go, oh, this is an expression which takes a, or this is an expression which takes de. Learn the vowel journey. J'ai tendance à. You know. So off you go. I tend to not buy this kind of. Now I tend to not give this kind of present. I tend to not give this kind of present.
J'ai tendance à ne pas donner ce genre de cadeau.
Good. What's the verb that we use for gifts in French?
Cadeau.
No, like to give. I mean the verb.
Offrir. Offrir.
Offrir. Oui, j'ai tendance à ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau. Mouth closed. Oui, alors j'ai tendance à ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau.
J'ai tendance de ne.
Pause. Tendance. What? What came off the tendance?
À ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau.
Good. Now, it doesn't matter, ladies and gent, how much I tell you to keep your teeth closed. Push on the chest. Oui, alors j'ai tendance à ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau. Push the chest forward. Okay?
J'ai tendance à ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau.
Good. Don't stop until you can go through it all in one go. Oui, alors j'ai tendance à ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau.
Oui, alors j'ai tendance à ne pas offrir ce genre de cadeau. Oui, alors j'ai tendance à ne pas
Keep
offrir.
thinking it. Don't remember it like a piece of poetry. Keep thinking it. Oui, alors j'ai tendance à ne pas. Moi personnellement, j'ai pas trop tendance à offrir ce genre. You know, keep thinking it. Good. Next sentence. I remember when it was possible to give people flowers in hospital, but now it's banned. Yeah, I remember when it was possible. I imagine there are whole florists based in hospitals who just went out of work in one go. So I remember when it was possible to give people flowers in hospital, but now it's banned because of like water contamination and all this stuff. Have you go?
Je me souviens de le temps quand.
Je me souviens de le temps would be je me souviens du temps, wouldn't it? Yes. But mainly je me souviens de quand. Now, let me just explain something a little bit tricky. Not tricky, but mouth tricky. Some verbs, you can exit them via the k gate, and other verbs, you can exit them via the d gate. For example, je me souviens de quelque chose. Je me souviens que tu aimais bien faire quelque chose. The human mouth confuses quand and que. So when you say que, it's a Q word. When you say quand, it's a Q word. But they're still different. So it's still je me souviens que or je me souviens de quand. It would still need a de because it's not the que. All right? So say for me, I remember when it was possible to give people flowers at the hospital.
Je me souviens de quand on pouvait offrir des fleurs à l'hôpital, mais maintenant
to people,
c'est
offrir des gens, offrir des fleurs aux gens à l'hôpital. Good. Lovely. But now it's banned.
Mais maintenant c'est interdit.
Good. Close your mouth. Make it human speed. Ouais, je me souviens bien de quand c'était possible d'offrir des fleurs aux gens à l'hôpital, mais maintenant c'est interdit. Keep going until it's blurry, until it sounds human.
Moi, Moi, je me souviens de quand on pouvait offrir des fleurs aux gens à l'hôpital, mais maintenant c'était interdit.
Now, I fucking loved that for two reasons. It wasn't quite as fast as your English would be, and certainly probably not as fast as your Finnish would be. But basically, the personality was authentic throughout, and the voice linked throughout. So it sounded bloody marvellous. All right? You're just getting to a stage, all of you, where if you don't have the personality behind it in place, A, you won't be able to say it because it's just too many clauses, and B, it sounds shit. So just make sure that you've got the personality behind it. Otherwise, it just sounds odd. It just starts to sound academic and a bit weird. Lovely. One more from me, Tia. Remind me in 20 minutes to take my clothes out of the dryer. Remind me in 20 minutes to take my clothes out of the dryer.
Rappelle-moi dans 10 minutes
De prendre
mes vêtements de la lave-vaisselle.
That would be like the dishwasher.
Dishwasher.
And we've not got the machine à laver, we've got the sèche-linge.
Sèche-linge, oui.
Okay. Good. Great. Moving across, Brendan. I did something earlier which made me smile. I did something earlier which made me smile.
J'ai fait quelque chose plus tard que...
Later. Earlier. That was nothing more than muscle memory, wasn't it? Yeah. J'ai fait quelque chose plus... Other way, plus
tôt. Ah oui.
Which made me smile.
J'ai fait quelque chose. Oh. Right.
Keep the previous word going. Which made me smile.
J'ai fait quelque chose qui me fait sourire.
Tense, yes, correct idea, but which made me smile? Qui m'a
fait sourire.
Good, go again. J'ai fait quelque chose plus tôt qui m'a fait sourire.
J'ai fait quelque chose plus tôt qui m'a fait sourire.
Sourire.
Oui.
Good.
J'ai
okay.
fait quelque...
Go on, yeah.
J'ai fait quelque chose plus tôt qui m'a fait sourire.
Okay. I said to myself, wow, Luke, you've never been so organized. I said to myself, wow, Luke, you've never been so organized.
Je m'ai dit... Oh oui, je me suis dit, wow, Luke, tu n'as jamais...
You have never been?
Tu n'avais jamais...
Stand still.
Oh.
Be aware of the tractor beam from the Death Star of the pluperfect tense. It will pull you all in. Say for me, you have been. Merely, simply, you have been.
Tu as été.
Very nice sliding, very nice vowel. Now say you have never been. Don't for the moment use ne, people. I'll tell you what I want to know. Don't use a ne. Right? Not in all circumstances, but for this kind of thing. You have never been. Go.
Tu as jamais été.
You have never been so organized.
Tu as jamais été tellement organisé.
Look at me. I'm bored as fuck. Look at me. I'm going to go over this one more time, people, and then I'll start getting really angry. So, first division with so. So with an adjective, so with a noun. Luke is so patient. He tolerates this shit for $10 an hour. Luke is so nice. Then we've got so with a noun. Luke has so many friends. Luke has so many other students who would love to be here. Remember that. So we've got so with an adjective and so with a noun. So with an adjective has three main camps, which we've spoken about. Your first choice, Luke is so nice. Just a general observation. Luke, il est tellement sympa. You can use si for this, but I'd like you not to. Much better French to use tellement. Notice this category is also where the slang would kick in. Luc, il est hyper sympa, il est archi sympa, il est super sympa, il est méga sympa. You know, that's where the slang, oh, il est trop sympa. This is where the slang would kick in. Then you've got so much of a quality that something else is happening. Brendan is so busy that he can't go to the party. And that will be si. Brendan, il est si occupé, that plus the condition. Yeah? The exam was so easy that the students all passed whatever. Si. Keep that one for si, yeah? Then we've got so. Well, it's a sneaky so, like as much as that. Wow, Luke, I didn't realize you were so nice. I didn't know you were as nice as that. And that will be aussi. All right? So tellement, si, aussi. I didn't realize it was so cold in Finland. Aussi froid. All right? Then you've got so and a noun, or so much, so many. So for example, I have so many friends versus I have as many friends as my brother, for example. And this is incredibly patronizing, but I have been over this. So starts with a consonant. And tant, T-A-N-T, starts with a consonant. Wow, Luc has so many friends. Wow, bordel, Luc, il a tant d'amis. Luc has as many friends, as many starts with a vowel. And autant starts with a vowel. You following me so far, Brendan? Yep. So many or so much, tant, as many or as much, autant. But like aussi, where there was a sneaky as much as that, as whatever is that. Wow, Brendan, I didn't realize you had so many friends. So you would go, okay, Luke's just said so many. So so many is tant because it's a consonant. But if it's like, I didn't realize you had as many as that, then as many will obviously take us to autant. Yes? All right? So don't mess those ones up. Good. Come back to you. I'm going to Auntie Susan. Susan, you there? If you could knock off the microphone.
Oui.
Good. We'd call them curtains. You'd probably call them drapes. So say for me, I like the curtains. I like the drapes behind your head. I like the drapes behind your head.
J'aime les draps.
Les rideaux. Les rideaux. Les draps.
Les
Les
rideaux.
draps are sheets on a bed. Yeah. Les draps. Okay. So les rideaux. So say for me, I like the curtains behind your head.
J'aime les rideaux.
No, rideau, learn to listen. Rideau, rideau.
Rideau. Rideau derrière ta tête.
Good. Close your mouth. J'aime les rideaux derrière ta tête.
J'aime les rideaux derrière la tête.
Good. You can use the head, but ta tête will be fine for this. Okay. Okay. Lovely. It's soft. It's soft.
C'est douce.
Good. C'est doux. Not douce, because which gender word do we use, Auntie Susan, after the word say? Masculine. Yeah. Quelque chose de plus masculine. Say plus masculine. Right. Good. Lovely. Luke, I thought of you this week when I read that you were in hospital. Luke, I thought of you this week when I read that you were in hospital.
Luc, j'ai
pense de toi quand
I thought of you.
je lui
Stand still.
pense.
I thought. First of all, get I thought before I launch missile to your house. What's I thought?
J'ai pensé.
Thank you.
Je pensais.
An action took place. Which one is it going to be?
J'ai pensé.
Good job. Of you is a sentence we have practiced so much, particularly with the red, blue, and green shit. So there's absolutely no way, if you've done a scrap or a lick of homework, that you will get this wrong. And if you get this wrong, it means you've not done enough homework. So say for me again, I thought of you.
J'ai pensé de toi.
You haven't done a dick worth of homework, because we did 3 examples with red, blue, and green. Pensez à la situation was the one that we practiced. Do you remember? Which preposition do we bloody use with penser, Susan? Good. De with penser is for questions. What do you think of Susan? I like the woman, but she's about to be thrown out of the group. For example, one might say. Do the homework. Pensez à. Do the homework out loud, people, not with earplugs and all this business and reading and making notes, all right? Promise me. Pensez à is your go-to. So redeem yourself. Say for me, I thought of Luke. No, so Luke, I thought of you. Luke, I thought of you.
Luc, j'ai pensé à toi.
Good. Now, don't learn rules, learn the language. Oui, j'ai pensé à toi. Lovely. Hence, y penser that we've all practiced and all this kind of business, as opposed to on penser, which we could only use in a question thing. Luke, what did you think about it? Qu'est-ce que tu en penses? En. That's doable because it's the question format. All right. So say to me, Luke, I thought of you when. No, Luke, I thought of you after I read that you were in hospital. Luke, I thought of you after I read that you were in hospital.
Luc, j'ai pensé à toi après avoir lu.
Good, well done, because it's the same person. Après avoir read, après avoir
lu.
Nice twang, good sound. That you were in hospital.
Tu étais dans l'hôpital.
Que tu étais à l'hôpital. Notice, people, we tend to favour, this goes to people watching this at home as well, we tend to favour as anglophones the word in, but in French we tend to favour à l'hôpital. Yeah? Ça fait Luc, j'ai pensé à toi après avoir lu que tu étais à l'hôpital. À l'hôpital. Try putting it together. Luc, j'ai pensé à toi après avoir lu que tu étais à l'hôpital.
Luc, j'ai pensé à toi après avoir lu que tu étais à l'hôpital.
I do so love giving direction and witnessing it being ignored. This is where penser à and penser de comes from, isn't it? Off you go. Next sentence. Luke, you're right. Which we did last week. Luke, you're right. I should have paid attention.
Luc, tu as raison.
Well done. I should have. Be very, very careful because a slap in the face is likely to offend. I should have paid attention. Be careful.
Je devrais.
I should have. We've spent a whole pissing week on this. I should have, Susan, paid attention.
J'avais dû.
I should have.
J'avais.
I hate you. America, why is it going to be the same thing if it was wrong 5 seconds ago? Why is it now going to have changed? We've done this. I'm not going to rescue you like a toddler. You're going to have to find it. No. We have done this. No, I'm not being mean. We've done this at length. Keep thinking. Here are your clues. Remain in the conditional. Consider an auxiliary. I should have.
J'avais.
You've said that 10 seconds ago. Why is it going to be now the same again now? What tense have I just told you to consider?
The imperfect.
No, I didn't. I said the conditional, yeah?
Oh, the conditional. Oh, je devrais.
No, that's
devrais, no?
And I also told you to consider an auxiliary.
J'aurais.
Yes, for the love of God. All right? We've done that a lot, Susan. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Say for me, I should have paid attention. You bloody well should have done. I should have paid attention.
J'aurais dû faire attention.
Nice.
Faire attention.
It's that simple, Susan. I should, je devrais. I should have, j'aurais dû. We've done that, Susan. We have done a lot of that. Don't all of you trade on my energy because I don't always have it. All right? We've done that. Do the damn homework. I mean it. Off you go. Luke, you should tell me to leave. Luke, you should tell me to leave.
Luke, tu devras me...
What tense is coming after these? Woods. There's no rat in the woods, is there? What you should to do. Now, don't be all like, people watching, don't be, oh, you're so mean to Susan. We have done weeks on just this. Just this. Pouvait, pourrait, devrait, aurait dû. We've done whole weeks dedicated to this. You should ask me to leave. How would you say that? You should ask me. Tu
devrais me demander à partir.
What preposition is going to come after demander? Here. That's right. Be careful with certain prepositions, guys, with certain words. Demander commonly has an a. So I asked Susan, j'ai demandé à Susan. But if it's demander à quelqu'un de faire quelque chose. This was covered in the dictionary infinitive week. Another week you guys probably did watch. So say for me, so say you should ask me to leave. Tu devrais, up you go.
Tu devrais me demander de partir.
Good job, you. Okay. Luke, I have chance, which is how you say I'm lucky. The word is feminine. That is all I'm going to say. It is a noun. How would you say I have chance? It's a feminine word and it is a noun. That is all I'm going to say. How do you say I have chance? I'm lucky.
J'ai de la chance.
Well done. Nice accent. Okay, j'ai de la chance. I promise you that I will do the homework to your level now. I promise you that I will do the homework to your level now.
Je te promis
que... I'm so bored. You guys all do this. What is the verb to promise? What is the infinitive?
I guess I don't know exactly.
I'm not going to toddler rescue you. Don't put your hands up. What's the verb to put?
To put?
Mm-hmm. Yes, say it for me, say it for me.
Mettre.
Good job, you. Nice pronunciation. What's the verb to promise, therefore?
Oh, permettre.
That's the verb to allow, but you've got the idea. The verb to promise.
Promettre.
Nice accent.
Promettre.
So what's the soft of mettre?
Me.
Someone please headbutt my fist. I'm feeling really tired. What's the soft of mettre? Go again, Susan.
Mais.
Thank you. What's the soft of promettre then, Susan?
Promets.
Thank you. What do you all love, all of you? Promis, yes? That is a past tense. So, Susan, say for me, I promise you.
Je te promets.
Good. I will do the homework to your level.
Je ferai les devoirs ton niveau.
Nice sentence. Good. Nice accent. Nice joining. Don't make me reteach someone of your brain caliber. Basics. Do the homework. Go over the class for the whole hour. Make sure you've got it. Particularly when it's shit like that comes up all the time. I'm going to Melanie. You there, Melanie? Ground control to Major Tom. Oh, so
Sorry.
you're actually at a personal training appointment?
Yeah, I'm physical therapy, but yeah, sorry.
Are you doing your PT while listening to the French?
I'm about to, yeah.
You should have said, if anybody needs to come to group and they can only do the first few minutes, you guys must always say, and then we'll put you first. Okay. Is the guy waiting? Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a woman, yeah.
Pardon me?
And then maybe at the end I'll be, maybe by the time you guys do another round.
Okay. I hope whoever, I'm saying guy or girl is better looking, but I hope whoever it is excites you, and I hope they're really rough with you. Good. enjoy your PT. I'm going to Brie, who's not being made to do push-ups by some burly man or burly woman, as far as we know. So say for me, Brie, I'm jealous Melanie has an interesting appointment. I'm jealous Melanie has an interesting appointment.
Je suis jalouse.
Good. Notice, by the way, that you're translating for Brie, so je suis jalouse. Were you translating for Luke? Je suis jaloux. Good. Your voice sounds nice. Push it forward. Up you go. Melanie has an interesting appointment.
Je suis jalouse que Melanie.
Pause. Now. What you've just said isn't wrong, but notice sometimes we just keep clauses separate. I'm jealous. Breath. Melanie has an interesting appointment. Would be grammatically different than I'm jealous that Melanie has. Because if you said I am jealous that Melanie has, you are then making what happen, Brie, and why?
Is it subjunctive?
Because you've got an emotion, haven't you? Whereas if you just go, I'm jealous, finish sentence. Melanie has, you know, an interesting appointment or whatever, okay? It wouldn't be the subjunctive. So say for me, I'm jealous. And again, that would be the same difference between that and because. I'm jealous that Melanie has an interesting appointment would be subjunctive. I'm jealous because Melanie has an interesting appointment would not be subjunctive. All right? So say for me, I'm jealous, pause, Melanie has an interesting appointment.
Je suis jalouse. Melanie a un rendez-vous très intéressant.
The linking in your voice has gone up tenfold since last week. Well done. It's nice. I can hear you. It's not just, oh, it's a pretty voice. I can hear you when you do it. Yeah, everybody has done it this week. Good. We're all on a nice page. It would be nice, Tabitha, to see you. Who else? Sally is an honorary group member, but just is never able to come. It's like the ghost in the room. Actually, I know what I look like this week. I'm the ghost in the room. Next one, Brie. What's the word for ghost, by the way, Brie? Do you know the word for ghost?
Phantom.
Phantom, yeah, phantom. Lovely. Okay. So you look like a ghost, Luke. Tu ressembles à, you know, in phantom. Okay. Say for me, Luke. What happened? What happened? Why did you have to go to hospital? Luke, what happened? Why did you have to go to hospital?
Luc, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Now, you're not too far off, but if it's what happened as an action, actions have what?
Auxiliaries.
Well done, you. So, qu'est-ce qu'il se passe? Notice you've got qu'est-ce qu'il se passe and qu'est-ce qui se passe. Both are acceptable, all right? Or even que se passe-t-il? But I now want, Luke, put the laptop down and it'll stop bouncing around. I'm just trying to lay it on my legs, I'm trying to put my laptop on my lap. Lovely, but what would be what happened as an action?
Qu'est-ce qui s'était passé?
No, you're falling into the same tense you all love. Where's the auxiliary in qu'est-ce qu'il se passe? If it's a se passe, what kind of verb is a se passe, Brie?
It's
I can hear it in your brain. What's the word? If it's got a se before it, it is a
reflexive.
Great. And what automatically is the auxiliary going to be if it's reflexive?
Être.
That's right. And what's it going to be if it's an it? Say for me, I got washed. I got washed.
Je me suis lavé.
Good. I was prepared to open fire, if you've forgotten the poetry parts. I've been in hospital 5 days this week. I don't have to teach should. I don't have to teach should have. I don't have to teach this. So what is the poetry past for he? How do you say he got washed?
Il s'est passé. Or
he got washed.
Sorry. Il s'est lavé.
Now take your question and say what happened.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Gorgeous. You'll also hear que s'est-il passé? Que s'est-il passé with an inversion. You know? Good. Why did you have to go to hospital?
Tu dois à l'hôpital.
Why did is in the past. Did is in the past. Why did you have to go to hospital? What was Auntie Lukey's hint for question week? Do you remember question week? What phrase did I tell you was a good idea to get into a question?
Est-ce que...
Good job. Well remembered. So what's the word for why? Then get in my Esker. Why did you have to go to hospital?
Est-ce que...
No. Think of it. Right. Formulate that question for me in English. And I want to hear the expression, is it that? Do you remember the exercise that we played where you had to ask the question with is it that in English? So it won't sound like the most normal English. It'll sound like cray English. But could you formulate that question for me with is it that?
Yeah. Why is it that you had to go to the hospital?
There we go. Good job. Good job. All right. Now, did or didn't, basically, in question forms, do not give us a tense. We have spoken about this before. I will say this again, seeing as some of us don't do our homework. Did and didn't are not a given tense. I don't mean like I did the work, j'ai fait. I mean did as an interrogative, like did you like Phil's class? Yes, I did. Whatever, you know. So remember, once again, Brie, all you've got is your basic ass choice of whether or not you're going to go action or no action. Did you go to school when you were younger? It's like saying, is it that you used to go to school? So we just use the was tense. Est-ce que tu allais à l'école? Did you go to school yesterday? Is it that you went single thing to school? Est-ce que tu es allé? Likewise, didn't people? Didn't could be an action. Didn't could be a 1-2. Brendan didn't like the pizza. When he ate the pizza, il n'a pas aimé la pizza. Il n'a pas aimé la pizza. Brendan didn't like pizza when he was little or something. Il n'aimait pas la pizza. What fucktard wouldn't like pizza? But Il n'aimait pas la pizza quand il était petit. Whatever. So did and didn't still require a choice of is it this one or is it this one? Does that make sense, Brie?
Yes.
Yeah? So you tell me why did you need to go to hospital? All of a sudden you needed to go to hospital. So what's that going to be? Why did you need to go to hospital?
Pourquoi est-ce que tu devais...
We've agreed that it's going to be an action. Pourquoi est-ce que tu as
dû aller au hôpital?
to hospital?
À l'hôpital.
That's it. Put it together. Pourquoi est-ce que tu as dû together? Pourquoi est-ce que tu as dû aller à l'hôpital?
Pourquoi est-ce que tu as dû aller au hôpital?
À l'hôpital.
À l'hôpital.
Good. Your brains know the hospital's masculine, so you all want to say au hôpital. You can't say au hôpital for a start. This is nothing to do with the Brendan thing and Don, whatever, you know. It's à l'hôpital. It's to the hospital. Yeah, okay. Good. Lovely, Brie. Next one. You don't want to know. It's too disgusting. You don't want to know it's too disgusting.
Tu ne pas savoir.
You don't want to know.
Oh.
As covered in the week where we talked about modal verbs, being able to, wanting to, and having to, that Susan hasn't done. 2 weeks we did that. So off you go. Yep, you don't want to know. It's too disgusting.
Tu ne veux pas savoir. C'est trop dégoûtant.
Good. Go more into your join. It suits you. Go more into it. Don't just go, oh, I'll join. Just the moaning old gay in London likes it. Don't be like that. Think the more you join, number one, a French speaker who doesn't have an English is going to understand you more. And secondly, you are much more likely to lay down something useful. All right. Good. One more for me, Brie. It's not that disgusting. I was peeing blood. Right after your class last week, I went to what you guys would call ER. Like literally right after. I wasn't peeing blood in your class. I'd peed blood 2 days before your class. And they were like, it's fine, there's no problem. You've got no infection, whatever. Then they rang me 3 days later and went, oh, by the way, we've just done the urine culture. From the lab, you did have an infection. I never used to speak about this kind of thing, but I had this friend that was really unwell and had a load of mental health issues, and so I made this policy a few years ago that, like, to talk about male health, because people talk breasts and people talk menopause and people talk about this, but guys don't talk various things. So I have to do like a dilatation of my urethra because of a health condition, which is completely fine. But in other words, I just went at it a little bit aggressively a couple of weeks ago. And let's just say I kind of injured myself. So say for me, Brie, Luke, you're right. It's important for men to talk about this kind of thing. Luke, you're right. It's important for men to talk about this kind of thing.
Luc, tu as la raison.
Tu as raison. Now, what you've just done there is similar to what somebody did earlier with tendance. When you have phrasal style verb, I keep going, right, be careful, you've got a noun. But some phrasal verbling over the years has gone, we'll make that a phrase. You don't need to use the with it. Yeah, you don't need to use the with it, all right? So, yeah, so go again, but there's no the with it. So you're right is tu as raison, okay? So because, so Luke, you're right, it's important for men to talk about this kind of thing. No. Remember what I said to Susan. Luke, you're right. It's important for men to speak about it. Luke, you're right. It's important for men to speak about it.
Hold on, I'm thinking for a second.
When we have either a pronoun or a relative pronoun, give the normal sentence and work out whether you are red, blue, or green.
Right.
So say for me, you talk about this kind of thing. Just say that sentence. You talk about this kind of thing.
Tu parles à...
Why an a? Why an a?
Tu penses à...
Look at Lukey. Penser and parler can both be followed by a de or an a on different occasions. Don't confuse what was just going on with Susan. The word we're playing with now is parler. You talk about the situation. How would you say that?
Tu parles de la situation.
Good. Here's a little bit of advice, ladies and gents. Whenever you're practicing any of this stuff, so red, blue or green in any order, don't stress de, dans, en, I, whatever the crapping word is, because we never do. So therefore, weirdly, it's counterproductive. Don't stress it. Just go, oui, alors la fille dont j'ai besoin, les sujets auxquels je pense. Like, just learn to go quite quickly over it, and then you pick up the rhythms. Yeah. So say for me one more time, Brie, I'm talking about the situation.
Je parle de la situation.
Good. Which pronoun is going to take the place of a de?
Dans. En.
I'm not a happy bitch.
Oh, sorry.
Don is a motherfucking reversal and on is a replacement. We've done this, haven't we? Yeah? The so-and-so de dans so-and-so. Yes, Brie, agreed?
Yeah.
And then we've said, j'ai besoin de la crème. J'en ai besoin. Has Lukey worked her fingers to the bone trying to get that into you? Yes?
Yes, yes.
And we can't just go, oh yeah, I know the word besoin or I know the word pal, so I'm going to go with don. Remember, there are 5 options for each one. I'm going to do all 15 and then I'm going to go and grab something to eat for 5 minutes. Well, for 4 minutes. I'll be right back. God, I'm tired this week as well. Here we go. Green, no preposition. So subject, object, object, subject, subject with a pronoun. What when it's not a question? What when it is a question? J'achète le gâteau que j'achète. Je l'achète. Qu'est-ce que tu achètes? T'achètes quoi? Je sais ce que tu achètes. Come on to red with the de. Brie parle de la situation. Brie en parle. La situation dont Brie parle. Je sais ce dont Brie parle. Brie parle de quoi? With an A. Brie pense, no, Susan pense à. Susan pense à la situation. La situation 5-point star. By the way, your 5-point star was very nice. But so la situation à laquelle Susan pense, because on this occasion it's feminine. Susan y pense. Je sais ce à quoi Susan pense. Susan pense à quoi? They are 15. So, in other words, you're orally, like with tenses, all of you are having a very ave, ete in the middle moment at the moment, aren't you? All of you are. Like with tenses, you are going to have an arrangement of that you prefer. Agreed?
Yes.
It might be the wrong one. We're going to come back. We're going to reverse the order. Not exactly the same people, because otherwise Brie would be going twice, but I'll be right back. I just get a little snicky snack. Okay? Talk amongst yourselves. By the way, whose job was it to remind me to take clothes out of the dryer? I believe it was somebody's.
Les vertes, les rouges et les bleus sont très difficiles de français quand on parle, même quand je sais les règles.
Oui, tu as raison. Je suis d'accord avec toi.
Tia, j'ai remarqué que tu parles particulièrement dans les semaines dernières, 2 semaines dernières, très couramment, très fluide, je pense.
Ah, merci beaucoup. J'ai essayé d'écouter beaucoup de audio en français et j'essaie aussi de parler en seul un peu.
Et, quel audio est-ce que tu écoutes?
Beaucoup de YouTube, des professeurs de français et aussi des podcasts.
Mhm.
Par exemple, Expat Langue, in French.
Mhm. Oui.
By the way, while I've got you there, sorry if I'm interrupting anybody's conversation. The landlord of the 2 apartments, beautiful apartments, absolutely beautiful apartments, that are in Besançon, that I've previously used, contacted me this week. Alors, le propriétaire des 2 appartements dont je me suis servi à Besançon m'a contacté cette semaine. I think I told you about this. Je pense que je vous en ai parlé. And he was like, Luke, it's just booking up a little bit earlier than it did last year. Do you kind of know a time that suits you? Est-ce que vous sauriez, would you know par hasard, voilà, whatever, you know, une période voilà, qui vous convient? So no one's obliged to do the Besançon trip this summer, but if people are thinking about doing it, I need to pick a month between July and August. Benefits for August are it's kind of obviously slightly warmer. There's fewer people in Besançon because France just empties in August. People just all go downtown. So it's really relaxed and chilled. Benefits for July would be I can see Tom, who's my little friend, little boy that I know from the children's hospital, whatever, which is good for you because he basically hung out with everybody last year and it was really good for them vocally and stuff. So in other words, have a little private think, and if you could all message me, if you were thinking of doing one of the language trips this summer, let me know if you have any dates or anything, whatever, that just work or whatnot, so we can go with a line of best fit. Do you know what I mean? I can try and suit as many people as possible. Good. Pardon me my mouthful. Or as we say, excuse-moi de parler avec la bouche pleine. Sorry for talking the mouthful. So, Brendan, Luke, I miss you. You haven't punished me this week. Luke, I miss you. You haven't punished me this week.
Luke, je te manque.
In I miss you, who's being missed?
Oh, pardon. Got it. Luke, tu me manques.
Lovely. You haven't punished me this week.
Tu n'avais pas. Tu n'as pas puni.
Why are you all so in love with the bloody blue perfect? You haven't. Yeah.
Tu m'as pas puni. C'est ça.
Keep the previous word going.
I wasn't sure if I was right. Tu m'as pas puni cette semaine.
Cette semaine.
Semaine.
Good. Is there a problem?
Est-ce qu'il y a un problème?
Good. Luke. Yeah. Tu me manques. Tu m'as pas puni cette semaine. Y a-t-il un problème ou est-ce qu'il y a un problème? Put it together. Red pepper hummus beats all other hummus, hands down. I'm just saying that. Have we go?
Les poivrons rouges.
I don't know if I can translate that. I mean, can you go again over your three? Yeah. And it would be the hummus or poivron rouge. You know, it would go the other way around. But can you say for me the three sentences that I just gave you? Yeah.
Sorry, you want me to say?
I miss you. You haven't punished me this week. Is there a problem? In one go, smoothly.
Luke, tu me manques.
Tu m'as manques ou tu me manques?
Tu m'as manques.
No, tu me manques. Get me the pronunciation. Tu me manques, not tu m'as manques. Yes.
Pardon. Tu me manques, Luc. Tu me manques. Tu m'as pas puni cette semaine. Est-ce qu'il y a un problème?
Good. Don't worry, Brendan. I'm preparing myself. I'm sure that you will make a mistake. I don't mind mistakes. Contrary to popular opinion, I just don't like mistakes when it's a majorly hardcore curriculum syllabus piece of shit I've gone over and again and again and again. And when someone randomly watches a video and goes, oh, you're so mean, I'm like, watch the other videos, and then this is what always happens. And then I get all these emails going, actually, I've just gone and watched the group class, and you told them 19 times, and I get apology letters. So, new sentence, Brendan. People tend to contact me having witnessed, people tend to contact me having witnessed this kind of thing.
Les gens ont les tendons.
Les gens, is that singular or plural?
Plural, I realise.
Good. Shut up, computer. You've been really noisy. Secondly, as I spoke about earlier when we were explaining raison, do we have la before tendance in this expression?
Yes. No.
Does anybody else, just so I know I'm not actually insane, remember me saying that some phrasal verbs over time lose the noun treatment before them? Just put your hand in front of your face if you remember me saying that, so I know I'm not insane. Thank you.
Remember.
Up you go.
Okay. So, what was it? The sentence was? Some people contact me. The
sentence was, given your diagnosis, I will book Dignitas for you in Switzerland. That's what it is. Learn to listen. Go again.
Tendance.
Oh yeah, but if you can't listen, we'll do a new one. Luke, you've given me a gift. Thanks to you, I can enjoy my life in France. Brendan still. Luke, you've given me a gift.
Luke, tu m'as donné une offre. Une
tu m'as
offre.
offert ou tu m'as donné un cadeau. Lovely. Thanks to you, I can enjoy my life in France.
Grâce à toi, je peux faire ma vie en France.
What verb are you using for enjoy?
Oh, I know you've told me this, but I'm struggling.
You're out drinking with Susan rather than doing the homework.
Can I have a first letter for a clue?
No,
Okay.
because it's not a word.
Oh, like phrasal expression. Enjoying.
Look at Luke, all of you. I enjoy myself. Je m'amuse. Agreed? I enjoy, I was going to say horse riding, but I can no longer do that. I enjoy gardening, all right? Le jardinage me plaît. Or ça me plaît de whatever, whatever. You can say je m'amuse à faire quelque chose, but that's a bit complicated. So in other words, use plaire.
Yeah.
Brandon enjoys walks in the countryside, whatever. Brandon, il aime bien, whatever, les randonnées. Ça lui plaît de se promener. Do you understand? You know, se promener, ça lui plaît. So go back to that plaire verb. Agreed? Yeah? Lovely. So you've allowed me to enjoy my life. So grâce à toi, ma vie me plaît en France. Do you see what I mean? Twist it round that way, yeah?
Grâce à toi, tu as ça m'a plaît.
Pause. What's you've allowed me? What's you've allowed me?
Tu m'as permis.
Tu m'as permis, lovely, de m'amuser ici en France. You could go around that way, couldn't you? To enjoy myself here in France. And again?
Tu m'as permis de m'amuser ma vie en France.
Get rid of ma vie, because you can't do that. Because you can't enjoy. The point I'm making, you can't enjoy a noun. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes? Okay, so grâce à toi, tu m'as permis voilà, de m'amuser en France. Or, grâce à toi, ma vie en France, ça m'amuse, ça me plaît, whatever, right? All of you get weird with the verb play, but you know it. How do you say please? S'il te plaît. Yeah? Basic trick with plaire, people, is it's the thing that you like which is doing the verb. Not unlike a Spanish me gusta. Not unlike an Italian mi piace. Like the thing is pleasing me, yeah? All right. Good. Brendan, last one. Where I live, well, actually not really, not where you live, but it's very commonplace, but let's just pretend. Where I live, people used to mock me because I wasn't a French speaker. Luke, where I live, people used to mock me because I wasn't a French speaker.
Les gens...
Push your chest forward. I can't hear you. It keeps cutting out. Push it. So you could get a bit close to the microphone, but push your chest forward in a nice constant stream, like I've heard from the girlies. And that way, this technique isn't just great for France, it's great for microphones. So send it forward.
Les gens me moquaient parce que
go again. So people used to tease me.
Les gens me moquaient?
No, we did this in ABC week.
Ah, good.
What is an ABC verb, Brendan?
And it's got...
I can't hear you.
Got 3 parts, and it's usually like se souvenir de or something like that. So it's
no,
got
the correct term is it is a reflexive verb with the dick. Say it back to me.
It's a reflexive verb with a dick.
And then none of you forget it. All right? It's so something plus normally another preposition. So what's the verb to look at the fucking size of that strawberry. My God. Lovely. So what is the look at the green on. So what is the verb to mock then, Brendan, if it's been dealt with in an ABC context?
The moquer de.
Good. So people didn't mock me, people mocked themselves of me. So if you go, so people used to mock me.
Et les gens se moquaient de moi.
Good.
Parce que
pause 1 second. I'm temporarily shooting across the brie. I shall come back to you later, Brie. But bearing in mind it's reflexive, what would be he teased me? He teased me.
Il s'est moqué.
That's it. I'm happy. Well done. Well done. Well done. What would it not be people who are obsessed? Il s'était moqué de moi. Yes, good. All right. Good to say to me, people used to tease me because I didn't speak French. Brendan?
Sorry. Les gens se moquent de moi parce que je n'ai pas parlé français.
Je ne parlais
pas français.
Good. We have spoken about this before, strictly speaking. With language, we have an option when we say parler, then the language, and parler, and then the le and the language. Strictly speaking, parler with the le and the language is the ability to speak it, and parler with the language is the act of speaking it. So, for example, I speak French with my family. Alors, moi, je parle français avec ma famille. Je parle français means my ability to speak French. But people often forget that. Yeah? Yeah? So, parler français is really the equivalent of saying parler en français. So, je parle en français avec la famille. Yeah? But people forget that. Good. Good. Susan. Luke, tell me, what have you decided to do with the strawberries? I'm fascinated. Luke, tell me, what have you decided to do with the strawberries? I'm fascinated.
Luc, dis-moi.
What have you decided to do with the strawberries? I'm fascinated.
Qu'est-ce que tu as décidé avec les fraises?
What have you decided to do? The vowels are all perfect. What have you decided to do?
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait?
What have you decided to do?
Oh, qu'est-ce que tu as décidé à faire?
You and prepositions and me are going to fall out. Qu'est-ce que tu as décidé
de faire?
Go again. Say it a few times.
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait de faire avec les fraises?
What have you decided to do?
Qu'est-ce que tu as décidé de faire avec les fraises?
Good. Teeth together. Luc. Luc, dis-moi, qu'est-ce que tu as décidé de faire avec les fraises? Salut Luc, dis-moi, qu'est-ce que tu as décidé de faire avec les fraises?
Luc, dis-moi, qu'est-ce que tu as décidé de faire avec...
Forward, people, keep the chest pushing forward.
Luc, dis-moi, qu'est-ce que tu as décidé de faire avec les fraises?
Nice. Right. I'm fascinated.
Je suis fasciné.
Good. I have put them in a bowl with oat flakes, flocons d'avoine. Flacon, a C without a cedilla, is a perfume bottle. Yeah, flocon, flake. Yeah. So I have put them in a bowl with flocon, which is a noun. So think, how am I going to treat the noun? Flocon d'avoine. If you think of the skin brand Aveeno, do I have any Aveeno? Yes, my face wash is Aveeno. Aveeno is fucking marvelous. That's the Latin for oat. Yeah, so avoine. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so yes, I put them in a bowl with oat flakes. Off you go.
Oui, je les ai mis.
Pause. What is the auxiliary we would require if I was doing something?
Être.
No.
No.
Say for me, I put. Just say for me, I
put.
Just plain and simple. I realise the problem here. I put could be present tense or past tense. Could you give me I put in the past?
J'ai mis.
Good. What preposition? Shut up, Luke. Which auxiliary did you have in the middle?
Avoir.
Yeah, yes. But which word specifically? In j'ai, me, what was your auxiliary?
A.
Good. I put them. Don't change auxiliary.
Je les ai mis.
Good. Strictly speaking, je les ai mis because it would have an es on the end because it would be a feminine strawberry. But the point is, what do you guys often say? Je les a mis, don't you? Because that's more commonly said. Do you remember that you said that, Susan? Yeah. So if I put them in a bowl.
Je les ai mis dans un
Bol.
bol.
That's BOL. With, here's the noun word, I'm kind, flocon d'avoine. How would you say with oat flakes?
Avec flocon d'avoine.
Do some bloody homework. Is oat flakes a noun?
Yes.
So what needs to precede it then?
An article.
And which one do we go to? I'm not teaching this again, and I've got a really good knife, and I can throw like a mofo. I'm very accurate. Yeah? Be like, Annie, get your fucking gun. I'll be like, which article goes with a noun? Listen, listen, listen. 2 usages for the word the, 2 usages for the do de la day word. If you hear a the in English, use the in French. If you hear the word some in English, use the word some in French. If you are talking about all of said noun, oat flakes are good for the stomach, whatever, or oat flakes are good if you throw them in the bath or something. Don't throw them in the bath, put them in like a bit of net or something, and then they release something in the bath. If you put them in the bath, it'll block the fucking plug off. So, but the other time that we use do de la day is if you're just generally talking about a noun and you're not talking about all of said noun. I'm going to the store to buy peaches. Je vais au magasin pour acheter des pêches. We've been over this, and the appropriate video is called Day versus Lay. We've been over this, Auntie Susan. So say for me, I'm going to buy coffee. Look at me, Susan. Am I buying all coffee?
No.
Therefore, it won't be le café. It will be, say for me, I'm going to buy coffee. Je vais acheter.
Je vais acheter du café.
Good job, you.
Du café.
Good. I'm going to buy coffees, admittedly plural. Am I buying all coffees, all the coffees in the world?
No.
So it's not going to be les cafés. So how would you say, I'm going to go and buy coffees for everybody? Je vais acheter.
Je vais acheter du café.
No, coffees is now plural.
No.
Je vais acheter.
Oh, des cafés.
That's it. There are children in front of my house. Clearly the laser, machete, trap, bullet things haven't gone off. There are children in front of my house. I'm really fucking hating teaching some shit I've done already. And I'm making that point very clearly, all right? I mean it. That's why Tabitha pretends to be busy, because she knows she's not done the bloody work. So if I say there are children, are we talking about all children?
No.
So therefore, how to say there are children in front of the house?
Il y a des enfants.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I might die now because I'm trying to open my collagen thing with a knife because my hands are weak as. So ding ding, 6th time at the hospital in a week. So yeah, so if I'm giving you flocon d'avoine, am I talking about all oat flakes?
No.
Therefore, which word needs to precede flocon d'avoine?
Des flocons.
That's exactly right. That is what it is. Good. It's that simple. But it was that simple when I gave you guys the method the first time. If you have a the in English, use the. The oat flakes I mean, you can say le porridge, but you know, the oats, you know, the ground oats, whatever. The oats that Luke uses are gluten-free. Because this is my life. Fuck my life. Oats don't contain gluten. They contain a similar protein called avenine, which very sensitive celiacs have a problem with. I don't. I'm a very, very sensitive celiac. If somebody's drunk a beer 2 hours ago and I kiss them, I get really sick. But I'm not sensitive to oat protein for some reason. But when you picture a typical field of oats, there's always some other shit growing around the outside, isn't there? So you have to pay for gluten-free oats. You have to pay for somebody to go to said field and pull out all the other crap so that the parts per million is acceptable. And don't get me wrong, I love American food, but one thing, your parts per million is much more generous than ours. So there's things that are deemed gluten-free in the States that would make us really sick, because your parts per million is not as rigorous as in Europe. So it's really annoying. So last sentence, Susan. I bought it to have a source of protein, the collagen thing. That's for my knee. There's some data on whether or not it even gets to your joints. Some people say it doesn't. Some people say you break it down, but whatever. My daughter's mother says it's really good. So say for me, I bought it to have a source of collagen. I bought it to have a source of protein. I bought it to have a source of protein.
Je l'ai acheté d'avoir.
Pause. Another naughty one. What is my in order to preposition, Susan?
Oh, pour.
If you can say, you are a perfect person to be route marched down Besançon. You would go home so fluent. If you can say in order to in English, then it means it needs to go in, even if it sounds a bit cray-cray. I'm going to the John in order to pee. You wouldn't need to say it, but you could say it. Yeah. I'm going to the garden in order to smoke a cigarette. Smoking is dumb, and anybody that does it, I beg you, please stop. I beg you. I include my brother in that. Lovely. So in other words, I'm going to Paris, or we're going to France to practice your French. On va en France pour pratiquer. Yeah, all right. So go again then, Susan. So I bought it to have, in order to have, a source of protein. Protein is the same word. Have a guess at the pronunciation.
Je l'ai acheté pour avoir une sorte de protéine.
Your voice, you speak, is nice. Je l'ai acheté pour avoir une source de protéine. Words which end CE tend to be the same. They also tend to be feminine. Okay, so source is obviously a source, as in S-O-U-R-C-E, as in, you know, where the river. You hear this word source a lot in France for where the river comes from, for the base of the river. And sauce, as in like, you know, sauce tomate, as in ketchup, you know, is another word. Good, Susan. Do the homework, because when you do it, your voice sounds nice. Tia, Luke, if I'm not mistaken, what you're eating seems like breakfast. Why are you eating it this time? Luke, if I'm not mistaken, what you're eating seems like breakfast. Why are you eating it at this time?
Luc, si je ne me trompe pas.
Good. Now, I'm not a massive fan of no, but if you do use no, make it quick. Oui, alors si je ne me trompe pas, Si je ne me trompe pas,
ce que tu manges me semble un petit déjeuner. Pourquoi tu le manges maintenant?
Good. So, Luc, si je ne me trompe pas, ce que tu manges a l'air d'être, on dirait, we haven't said one would say, on dirait le petit déj. Notice, people, there is no word petit in France. There is no word petit. Petit or petite. Shout out to Sarah, who I swear to God today kept saying patty. I was like, what is this? Are you having a barbecue? Petit. So Luc, alors on dirait le petit déj. Say for me again, why are you eating it this time? What's the last bit? Why are you eating it this time?
Pourquoi tu le manges maintenant?
Nicely gone round, but try at this time.
En ce moment?
That would be at this period in my life. À cette heure or à cette heure-ci. Yeah?
À cette heure-ci.
Notice we're not saying like 7 o'clock on the clock. At 7 o'clock, we're saying at this time. Luc, what are you doing up at this time? Get to bed. Luc, bordel, qu'est-ce que tu fous debout à cette heure-ci? Yeah? What are you doing up at this time? Yeah? Okay. Which is a very common thing for me. Denise and I had a midnight walk last night. And the ice cream shop had closed. Lovely, Tia. I'm sorry to have heard that the shop was closed when you got there. Luke, I'm sorry to have heard that the shop is closed when you got there.
Luc, je suis désolée d'avoir entendu que le magasin était fermé.
When you got there.
Quand tu es arrivé.
Quand tu y es arrivé, yeah?
Quand tu y es arrivé.
Not all liaisons would be required. Tu y es arrivé would be fine. All right? What did you manage to do with your time if you didn't eat ice cream?
Qu'est-ce que tu pouvais faire avec ton temps?
You managed to do this. So the reverse would be, I hurt my hand. So the reverse would be, qu'est-ce que tu as pu faire, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Qu'est-ce que tu as pu faire avec ton temps quand tu n'es pas mangé la classe?
Good.
De la classe?
I was telling Denise that it's warmer. I was telling Denise that it's warmer, although it's windy. I was telling Denise that it's warmer, although it's windy.
Je disais à Denis qu'il faisait plus chaud.
Will you link your cur people?
Qu'il faisait. Je disais à Denis qu'il faisait plus chaud, mais il faisait du vent.
Chaud or chaud?
Chaud.
Although it's warmer.
Il faisait plus chaud.
Bien que plus subjunctive, yes? Or même si, no subjunctive. But that's shit. Go with bien que. So say me, although it's warmer. Or, although it's windy. Although it's windy.
Bien qu'il fasse du vent.
Good tip. Luke, I'm used to this kind of extreme when it comes to weather. Luke, I'm used to this kind of extreme when it comes to weather.
Je suis habituée à ce genre de météo.
No, I'm used to this kind of extreme. As in hot, warm.
Je suis habituée à ce genre de météo extrême.
What's the word for extreme? Same word, have a guess. Extrême.
Extrait.
That's it. Extrême. Now link it with a de.
extrême.
So, je suis habitué à ce genre d'extrême when it comes to weather. What's my little when it comes to expression?
Quant à la météo, non.
Not bad. That would be more of a subject change, like as for the weather, but good dear. Quand il s'agit. Il s'agit de. S'agit is S''AGIT when it acts on itself of. Yeah. It's not a full red. You won't be using on and stuff, but you would in a question form. So, Brendan, what is the question form with all reds? What words do you need for the question form for all reds? That woke you up, didn't it?
It did. I don't.
Before we begin, red. Which preposition are we playing with if the sentence is a red sentence?
De.
Good. How do we ask a question if
We can
we've got
live.
de? Ask me, what are you talking about?
Comment?
You bastards piss me off. Do the bleeding homework. You were given an absolutely acute breakdown of red, blue and green. I even did a video on it for you. I know some people have done it because I've even had a lovely little sketch from Bree, who's coming up next. Well done. We've done these things. We've done this kind of work. I also did them before I went and got some food earlier. What must you do if your verb contains a and de and you want to ask the word what? What word do you need?
Ah.
And what does it go after?
It goes after de.
Or if the verb were using a, it would go after
Ah.
Thank you. Right? If your verb uses de and you need to ask what, you cannot use qu'est-ce que. If your verb uses a and you need to use what, you cannot use qu'est-ce que. Bree, how do you say, Luke, what are you thinking of? Methods of killing you all. Off you go. Bree, how do you say, what are you thinking of?
À quoi tu penses?
Go again.
À quoi tu penses?
Is acceptable? You'd also say tu penses à quoi?
Tu penses à quoi?
Mm-hmm. Good. Bree, you've not done your second go yet, have you? Or have you?
No.
No, you haven't. Up you go, my love. So say to me, Luke, I know what you're thinking of. Luke, I know what you're thinking of. This is not the question form. This is something else. Luke, I know what you're thinking of.
Luc, je sais.
It's sounding good.
This is
Bree, don't speak. In the words of Gwen Stefani, don't speak. If we're using thinking of, are we blue, red, or green?
Blue. Right?
Blue. Good. Which means the preposition in question is a.
Right.
Yep. What are my words for what when they're not question? If it's red, ce dont. If it's blue, ce à
quoi. Ce à quoi.
Some French speakers will just go in with à quoi, but it should be ce à quoi. So say to me, Luke, I know what you're thinking of.
Luc, je sais ce à quoi tu penses.
Nice voice, nice rhythm. Okay. Luke, tell me, do you need to go back to the hospital this week? Luke, tell me, do you need to go back to the hospital this week?
Luc,
Tell me,
dis-moi.
do you need to go back to the hospital this week? Before we go any further, what do I like to use for the word need if I'm talking about a verb?
Dois.
Good job, you. And what do I like to use for need if I'm talking about an object?
Faut.
Well done. It's so nice when people pay fucking attention. No one's saying you can't use buzzword, but buzzword will work for verbs and objects, but it's just overly used because it's a little bit more urgent in French. It's not like, it's like a need. So yeah, lovely. So Luke, do you need to go back to the hospital this week? Luke, do you need to go back to the hospital this week?
Luc, tu dois.
Good. Not wrong with the tone of voice, but what did you tell me yourself, if I'm not mistaken, was the little expression I really want to try and get in with questions?
Est-ce que?
Good. While we're there, if I said, did you need to go back to the hospital last week? What did I give you about, what information did I give you about did earlier? What did I say about did?
It can be.
That's right. So could you give me both of those? Did you need to go back to the hospital in the one sense, and did you need to go back to the hospital in the other sense, please?
Luc, est-ce que tu devais
Good.
à l'hôpital?
Don't forget to include the word that comes after it. Yeah. Est-ce que tu as dû aller à l'hôpital? Yes. Est-ce que tu as dû aller à l'hôpital? Yeah.
Luc, est-ce que tu as dû aller à l'hôpital?
Lovely. Or give me the other one.
Luc, est-ce que tu avais dû...
You lot need to fall out of love with that one. That's not the goat. Right. Let me quickly tell you where Abayonete is coming in this one, and then we can chill. Well done. If you were British, you would be more likely to use had. So, for example, if you say, I bought a blue t-shirt, I liked it, I bought a red t-shirt, okay? If you then said, oh, Luke, I like your red t-shirt, which let's say I bought a week ago, a Brit would be more likely to say, oh, yeah, so I bought a blue one the week before, you know, to show that this tense had taken place before the other thing in the past. We use an adverb of time. American English is more likely to say, oh, hey, I really like your blue t-shirt. Yeah, I got a red one a week ago and I really like that, so I decided to buy another one, which is completely acceptable. You're just more likely to use adverbs of time, like, oh, before that, I bought a blue one. French is like England. We tend to use the ud stuff a little bit more. So, but rather than going, oh, I need to be really vigilant about whether or not I'm hearing had, in the middle, let's be very clear, it's not had on its own. I had a coffee, j'ai eu, action. I had long hair a few months ago, j'avais. That would be a description. We're not on about that. We're on about had in the middle. Susan had told the guy to slow down or something like this. And when had is in the middle, yeah, duh, at the risk of being patronizing, listen for had in the middle. Or as you're speaking, think, is there another main event in the past that I'm using this had to show took place before this? Sorry, and I'm using this had to show that this event took place before that main event. So if you say, I spoke to my mom yesterday, can we all hear that there is an event in the past there? Yeah?
Yeah.
So don't be vigilant for the word had. Just think, I'm now going to tell you all an event which took place before my events in the past I'm telling you about. And that is when you'd use avait and été. So yes, I could just as well say in English, I had spoken to her 2 days prior, but just don't start thinking about like that in English. Just think there's an event in the past I'm telling you about. I'm now telling you about an event before that past, and it's just an additional way of showing you that it's before then. Final question of the day, I'm going to ask Susan. When else on work we have done, in work we have done, do we use avait and été in the middle of another verb? Which other arrangement have we practiced a lot where we would stick avait and été in the middle of another verb? What would that be talking about? Auntie Susan.
I forgot what you call this sentences. Not causative.
No. The
hypothetical past.
The hypothetical past. Well done. Not the hypothetical present. So to remind you, there ain't no present in the hypothetical present. The two tenses involved are was, well, the imperfect, I should say, and the conditional. It means in our present environment, this stuff, were it to hypothetically happen, currently, this is what would happen. Yeah, if you did your homework, Luke would be happier. Yeah, all of you. There's no present. Alors, si vous faisiez effectivement, si tu faisais tes devoirs, si vous faisiez vos devoirs, si vous regardiez les vidéos, je serais plus content. Hypothetical past means I'm going to talk in a way about something which is in the past, which I can no longer change. Oh, well, if I'd known Bree was in London, I'd have seen her. Bree, remind me exactly where it is that you do live.
North London, Muswell Hill.
I know, and we haven't even got it together yet. Message me. I have to be fair being ill. Muswell, you would take you forever because you haven't got a tube anyway, have you? So it's like you'd have to drag your ass to East Finchley or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you said if I had known Bree lived in London, I would have seen her. This is hypothetically if I could change the past. So as Susan has correctly said, this is going to say if I had known. Si j'avais su. Si j'avais compris. Si Bree m'avait dit. I would have, j'aurais, whatever, je serais, whatever. All right? Good. Stay on top of the homework, all of you, because all of your voices are smashing it. Your voices are now fine. We should be entering a phase where we can suck up grammar so well, because every one of you has demonstrated a beautiful voice. All you need now is just to say shit in a blurry way. But when I go out of my way to give you a pattern and a boom, 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 you know, a huge energy, you know, spend, please stay on top of the stuff. Yeah, please stay on top of the stuff. If you literally watch your, I don't want a bookload of notes, I want a head full of notes, but if you basically watch the video back, let's assume you're going to watch every video at least once that we do, then, you know, like I said, I want to be in the position, which will probably start, I'd say, from about next week, where I forward you classes from other people that I teach, and I need to know you are going to upload that information. Yeah, so obviously that's not going to go public. That would be to just you guys in the group. So I need to know that I can go, right, Susan has had this video and I know she's uploaded that grammar. Yeah, and I need that. You know, so if I've done would, should, could, make sure would, should, could is there. If I've done had, make sure had is there. If I've done what, make sure what is there. If I've done celui, celle, whatever, make sure that is there. Yeah, don't just go, oh, it'll come round again, he'll cover it again. Because that's kind of taking the piss with all the love in the world, isn't it? Yeah. So, and I don't mean this rudely, but if there's one thing I'm amazing at is picking the curriculum for this stuff. Would you agree the stuff that we've done is stuff that you do need to build sentences? Would you agree with what I'm saying by that? It's the kind of, it's nuts and bolts of language, isn't it? You know what I mean? All right. So in other words, I'm not giving you some random ass shit to do that is never going to come up. And you all have a lovely voice. And I'm not just saying that to blow smoke up your ass. Every one of you's got a really nice voice now. Clap, clap, clap. Well done, well done. We've done the work. So loading material in should be easier. All right. Don't like smacking bottoms. I don't like smacking bottoms. Don't make me do it, but keep up on. I do not like repeating work. It's not fair on me. All right. Or I'll say, hey, you can repeat the payment from that class. If you want me to repeat the class, I'll be like, you can pay for that class again. Good. Well done, well done, well done, well done. All right. Love to all of you. Good job, good job, good job.